Both of the Athletics All-Stars will be on stage tonight. Of course, Miguel Tejada will man shortstop, as he always does, as we are set for Game 2 of a 3-game series. And Barry Zito will also take the mound tonight against the Minnesota Twins, against the veteran right-hander Rick Reed. It's been a few minutes since we've been on camera here. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to A's Baseball on Fox Sports Net. Ray Fosse, you know. I'm Greg Pop, and Barry Zito. Last outing, Ray, he was distracted with the whole talk about will he be taken to the All-Star game or not. Did not pitch the way he's used to pitching. I think we'll see Barry Zito back online tonight.
He learned a lot from that experience. He knew that his mind was not there, and of course we have known that even as a young pitcher, he is one that gets focused as well as anybody when he goes out to pitch, but his mind wasn't straight against Seattle. A little different now against the Minnesota Twins, and it's important because he has not had great numbers against this ball club. He has not beaten them.
His last outing, though, against Seattle, he broke his 9-game winning streak overall, but still he has not lost in this stadium in over a calendar year. And as he takes the mound tonight, Barry Zito now knows, being an American League All-Star, he is truly the man on this pitching staff.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. By your local Chevy dealers who invite you to test drive the new Chevy cars and trucks. By Aflac, ask about it at work. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. And by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it.
Oakland A's, 2 All-Stars this year. Eric Chavez finishes 3rd in the vote. Miguel Tejada at short, and Barry Zito on the pitching mound tonight against the Twins, who lead the American League Central by 6.5 games. Corey Koski and Torrey Hunter featured tonight. Koski, one of only 2 lefties in the lineup against Zito, David Ortiz being the other, and Torrey Hunter. He also had a couple of singles last night, but he's smiling wide today because of his defense last night. He had a couple of sparkling plays. He'll face the All-Star and 10-game winner Barry Zito tonight.
McDonald's scouting report on Zito: 2 and 4 seam fastball, curve and changeup, great curveball, great composure. Against the Twins, 0 and 2, 10.54. That's got good numbers for an All-Star. Got to improve on those.
Except he'll be pitching against the National League, Ray. He won't
true.
have to go against the Minnesota Twins, so Joe Torre won't have to worry about that. A's defensively, John Mabry, a late addition to the lineup as Scott Hatteberg has tricep tendonitis. He'll be joined by Eric Chavez on the corners on the infield. Mark got us a costly error last night at second base, which opened it up for the Twins to score 2 in the 7th and win the game 5-4. The A's had the 8 errors in back-to-back games against the Giants Friday and Saturday, so their fielding percentage has taken a beating for the last 4 games. Adam Pyatt is in left field tonight with T. Long and Jermaine Dye in the outfield, and David Justice is going to DH. Twins won last night 5-4. Fosse, what's your Mercedes-Benz keys to squaring this series tonight?
Well, for Barry Zito, how about an All-Star performance? And he'd love nothing better than to win his 11th game, doing it against the Twins. And the offense, take advantage of opportunities. And both clubs last night, a little difficult time doing that. And for the Athletics, also keep leadoff hitters off the bases. Aaron Harang pitching out of the stretch for the first 5 innings. Seemed like as soon as the game started, as Jones hit the double, but he got out of some tough jams.
Yeah, last night Jock Jones broke an 0 for 20, opening the game with a double, and the Twins had the leadoff man on base 7 of the 9 innings last night against Harang in the bullpen. Bobby Kelty leads off tonight, pops one. Eric Chavez is under it, and he will make the catch for the first out on this 62-degree evening.
Once again, the Twins, the leadoff hitter, being very aggressive. First pitch out of the strike zone, but Zito comes back with a fastball, and Kelty swinging at it.
There's Christian Guzman, the young shortstop of the Twins, who's starting to get rolling here as we approach the All-Star break. He had a couple of hits last night, including a leadoff single in the 7th, which ignited their come from behind go-ahead rally. The typical Twins game last night, their 21st come from behind victory, 21 out of the 47. Guzman, a switch hitter. Inside out swing. This one blooping down the line is going to drop foul. Down as a ball and a strike.
That's a shock. That it was foul. A few of those bleeders last night that opposite field shots that fell in. But you know, you make contact, you never know what can happen. Putting the bat on the ball.
Well, even the biggest hit of the game, the one off the bat of Minkevich, Ray, was pulled and hit the line. Eric Milton, one of the Twins starters, having a average year for him. He's a much better pitcher than he has shown. Going to see Rick Reed tonight, the veteran, two-time National League All-Star, who has had a hard time adjusting to the American League. Reed 6-4 this year, ERA just under 5, and he really struggled last year when the Twins made the controversial trade to get him, giving up Matt Lawton. Guzman goes 3-1. And Barry Zito misses with the inside fastball.
Actually, that's what Barry was doing against the Mariners, kind of overthrowing the fastball a bit. That one ending up way off the plate inside. That's usually an indication that overthrowing, trying to do a little bit too much.
Corey Koski in the lineup tonight. Again, he and Ortiz, the only two left-handed batters in there against Barry Zito tonight. The others are right-handed and switch hitters. Twins have struggled this year against left-handed pitching, and they're going to see one of the very best tonight, obviously, at Zito. David Ortiz is in the lineup tonight. He's playing first base, and Minkevich not in. Well, Zito trying to find his rhythm. Even when he was in that good role, Ray, where he had won 9 straight decisions, he still was getting off to slow starts for him. And he had a very slow start in Seattle last Thursday and never got right. And he's nibbling a little bit here, falls behind 2-0 after walking Guzman.
And that's so tough on a pitcher if he doesn't have the good stuff coming out of the bullpen, or where he can get through a first couple innings. And it's an uphill battle the rest of the way, especially if you put up some crooked numbers.
Aaron Harang actually pitched under the weather last night. Talking to him before the game, he had a little stomach flu last night. He feels much better tonight, but he never really let it go last night. He said he just didn't have the velocity on his fastball, the high-end velocity, and it really affected his game. And he was pretty drained last night after throwing 87 pitches. A collective groan here throughout the Coliseum, as they're not used to seeing this, especially on this mound. Maybe on TV, but Barry usually does not struggle here in Oakland. 3-0 to Koski after the walk to Guzman. Green light. Interesting.
Maybe because he's left-hander facing Zito. Figured to give him a chance to get a good swing on a good pitch, had a good fastball, but kind of inside-out swing. Not. Matter of fact, Rod Gardenhire just did the same thing, an inside-out. You want. If you give a hitter green light 3-0, you want to be aggressive and try to do some damage pulling the ball.
Gardenhire was a New York Met in the early 80s. Pretty solid player. He's been with Tom Kelly for years. Bench coach in 95, first base coach in 96, and he took over as the third base coach in 98. Another throw over. When you green light a hitter 3-0, it's obviously a statement about what type of hitter you have, but it also is a statement about what kind of pitcher you're facing. Figuring the best one you're going to get maybe the 3-0, because Zito can turn the at-bat around quickly.
Fans are cheering like they thought that was strike 3. I think Barry wishes it were. Good fastball, up a little bit.
One more to go for Barry to get his 97th strikeout of the year.
Well, I think as a hitter right now, he's not throwing a curveball for a strike. Only one to Guzman out of the strike zone. Just sit fastball.
Runner goes on 3-2, and a fastball comes, fouled back by Koski. Guzman has had a horrible time stealing bases this year, and he's one of the fastest players in the entire league. Well, they fully expect him to run again on 3-2. And John Mabry in the lineup tonight. He was not in the initial lineup. Art Howe had Scott Hatteberg in, but Hatteberg yesterday, Ray, during batting practice, felt a little something in his arm. And he has tricep tendonitis in the right arm. Late scratch. Guzman runs again. Koski fouls it. Chavez coming over, may have a play. That ball's going to come back, but not enough. Lands in the dugout, and Koski continues.
I think Eric had a little more room than he thought, although that is a long run, and it's tough to run and sprint towards the dugout like that and try to come up short. Well, it did come back. Might have been able to reach in. Especially that's your dugout, you're going to get help from your players.
He pulled up just when he hit the dirt. He pulled up on that one. The voting we mentioned with Kipe in the pregame show, Eric finished third in the internet voting for the 30th spot. Guzman runs again. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Guzman on 5 pitches, and then Koski battled to get his walk after getting ahead 3-0. So Matthew LeCroy, who was Ron Gardenhire's designated hitter tonight, his first at-bat will come with a chance to do damage. He got in the game late last night as a pinch hitter for David Ortiz and struck out twice. Strike. Fastball.
He's not seeing anything except that pitch. 2 strikeouts last night, stayed inside on him. You'd think that maybe you'd start looking, maybe opening up. That's when a catcher needs to notice that if that does happen. Starts looking inside. He's going to open up a little bit quicker.
Coming in again, Ray. And LeCroy pops it foul. He's down 0-2.
Thing about baseball, you're going to be pitched a certain way until you prove you can hit it. At that point, you make adjustments and try to hit certain pitches. Ken Maka with his notebook, and as he said once again today, he's top of his game. Every day for Maka, he's top of his game.
Big curveball, first time he really broke out a good one. And LeCroy just a piece to stay alive.
And he did throw it hard with 2 strikes so that LeCroy would not have enough time to adjust and put a better swing on it. How hard this breaking ball comes in. Slower variety hitter has a chance, maybe if he's full, to keep the bat back. Have a chance to hit it, but the harder one is a little more difficult.
Ellis ducking in behind. Guzman takes off. Zito's got him. He broke too early. Chavez will go for a double play, but getting in on the back end is Koski. Tristan Guzman broke way too early that time, and he is out for a costly second out. Gardenhire wonders what happened there. Guzman has had this happen to him far too much this year, where he will make a mental mistake both defensively and on the bases.
A lot of times a pitcher will show this move just to keep the guy closer, but Zito just to spin, and fortunately he was able to react quickly enough to get him at third.
Now LeCroy pops one out of play. Take one more look here as the count goes 0-2.
And from second base, if you're running at second, you have to make sure the move right there, he's going to the plate, but he can spin, as Zito does. What a great time to do that. And he's going on first move, and it was the wrong way to go. The guys at second base, he ought to throw me the ball. Here he comes from first, and Koski able to make it.
Now, he just lifted his leg. There's no commitment towards the plate in that situation. LeCroy jacks one by it back. And he's going to get back to the wall, leap, and it's way gone. A 2-run homer. Could have been a 3-run homer for LeCroy. But Guzman broke too early from second base. The Twins have the 2-0 lead on LeCroy's 3rd homer of the season.
They pounded fastballs in, curveball, and then threw him a changeup. And guess what? Smoked it. Usually a hitter shortens up with 2 strikes to protect at the plate so he doesn't swing, hit a bad pitch. Man.
It's tough after busting him inside throughout the series. Ray to lay an 0-2 changeup like that right down the middle. LeCroy's eyes got big.
Yeah.
And he crushed it. Here's Torrey Hunter. He can turn on one himself. Pyatt back to the wall. Have they gone back to back? Not quite. Pyatt right up against the wall. He goes back to back to the wall to avoid a 3-0 game. So Zito searching for answers here as LeCroy takes him out for 2. The Oakland A's are 46-36, 6 back of Seattle in the American League West. Ellis Long, Tejada, then back-to-back lefties who combined for 4 hits last night, a run scored, and a ribby after Justice and Chavez. Jermaine Dye, John Mabry in, Adam Pyatt, and Ramon Hernandez will catch and bat 9th against the 2-time All-Star from the National League, Rick Reed.
And McDonald's scouting report on the veteran right-hander. 4 pitches, fastball, curve, slider, and change. Excellent command, not overpowering. Not surprisingly, curveball in the first offering.
Mark Ellis usually very effective that first at-bat of the game, but lately he's been making the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th good ABs as well. He did take an 0 for 4 last night with a couple of strikeouts. Koski will back up as the strike is called. 2-1. Rick Reed was a 2-time All-Star with the Mets in '98 and again last year. He was an All-Star. 8-6 with the Mets. ERA under 4, and was traded to the Twins in a curious deal in which the Twins gave up Matt Lawton. Ellis pops this one behind second. Hunter coming in. Rivas, the second baseman, will go way out there and make the catch. Actually, pardon me, that's Denny Hocking. Denny Hocking makes the catch. New look Twins defensively. Can't miss the blonde head of Hocking, joined by David Ortiz on the right side, Guzman and Koski. The outfield anchored by Torrey Hunter. What a great play he made last night. Actually said he hurt his back after making this play as he broke John Mabry's heart. Could have been a slam after a 3-run. Also, Doug Minkiewicz made a pretty good play last night at first base, but Ortiz, and he has brought his first baseman's glove this time, Ray. David Ortiz, a DH, going to play first tonight. Here's T. Long, who moves up in the batting order. And he lifts this one. Ortiz going to get help from Hocking, and Hocking will put it away. 2 outs. A couple of poppers to the utility man who can play anywhere, Denny Hocking. Going to help out Dustin Moore, making his first ever start here in Oakland with the wind patterns. Here comes Miguel, and Miguel very smartly now. Going to take his time. A couple of quick outs, huh? 7 pitches thrown by Reed to get Ellis and Long, so Miguel's going to mosey on in.
I can't look for too much from Reed. And 2 fastballs hit, they're both inside, and since he does not throw that hard, he's going to try to use the inside part of the plate as much as possible. Tejada over 300 again, 101 hits.
That is the high end in Rick Reed's fastball, but he throws it with good command, upper 80s. And he has a good changeup, which he will throw any count. And the fastball, inside edge, the plate umpire, Dana DeMute. He's also our crew chief. Spots, needs help from the umpires very often. Fastball, fastball, fastball to Miguel.
first pitch curveball, but then pretty much all fastballs since then.
Rick Reed has had a spotty year with the Twins. As Tejada grounds one to Guzman. He's been good, he's been bad. This one bounced. Ortiz, a little scoop. Saves an error on the throw by the shortstop. So a quick 1-2-3 for Reed. A's are down 2-0 after one. Minnesota Twins got a home run from Matthew Lee Croy in the first. 2-run shot. They lead 2-0 as we start the second. David Ortiz was their DH last night, playing at first base tonight. Off to a slow start, but he is on Gardenhire's choice at first over Doug Minkiewicz. He has faced Barry Zito twice in his career, and he's 2 for 2 against Barry.
Gee, you mean it's all about numbers?
Even 2 for 2s.
Zito's 10 ERA career against the Twins. I think a few guys have some pretty good numbers.
When you go back to last year, Barry's season kind of came full circle when he was beaten here by the Twins on July the 24th. Had a terrible outing. And when his record dropped to 6-7, his ERA was over 5. But since that point, he's been one of the very best in all of baseball. David Ortiz hits it hard, eats up Miguel, and Miguel will not even throw. Big Ortiz will beat it out. That ball was lashed, and it will be called appropriately a base hit by Ortiz.
Miguel had him played perfectly. But you see the ball coming right at you right there. And Tejada just had to go off his glove. That's surprising that he didn't catch it. Took it off to the side, which nothing wrong with that. He's looking right at it, but I think he's a little upset that he missed it.
Here's Dustin Moore, certainly an American League Rookie of the Year candidate. I think you'd have to say at mid-year this year, Eric Kinski of the Blue Jays is probably the top choice, but Dustin Moore very quietly has come out of nowhere. He and Bobby Kelty have performed the all-rookie right field platoon. They're actually both in the lineup tonight with Kelty starting in left. This guy was an all-star last year, but in Double-A. Playing for the New Britain Rockcats a year ago. David Ortiz looks like he's got all the potential in the world. Problem is he keeps getting hurt, and he has a swing that requires a lot of maintenance, and he's keep coming back from injuries. He never gets into a rhythm, but when he gets rolling, he can really he hits the ball extremely hard.
Well, his power, something that the Twins are continue to hope for at the first base. Minkiewicz and Ortiz. Ortiz can DH. As big as he is, he puts it all together. Who knows what he could do?
Well, they're hoping he could be a Mo Vaughn type of player. Took Mo a while. Mo had to go back to Pawtucket, and they were groaning at Fenway. Many an afternoon watching him struggle. Two pitch. Barry Zito continues to struggle. Waiting on deck, the notorious A's killer and a guy who really thrives in the stadium, Denny Hocking. (3-2). That's a base hit. Soft line drive by Dustin Moore. Ortiz goes to second base. Well, the name has changed. It's not Aaron Harang, but rather it's Barry Zito, but the results are alarmingly similar. The Twins are always on base. One more to go on this series. I think this guy's going to come back tomorrow night for $1 Wednesday, and you should make your plans to be here. 7:05 first pitch tomorrow night. You know, $1 Wednesdays. Plaza level at Upper Reserve tickets are only $1, and also the hot dogs are $1. It's all brought to you by Bart. So we'll see you tomorrow night. Take part with a big crowd expected. 510-762 ball. All that for only $1, huh, Dad? A bunt by Hocking. And it goes foul for strike one. Al Newman's looking forward to the Dollar Wednesdays, huh? Al coaching at third base. Hocking giving him a long look. And Al's more giving the signs to David Ortiz at second, making sure he knows what's up. It's tough to come back with it. It's a forced play at third base, so we'll see if they bunt again or let him swing away.
It'd be a good guy to have Zito get over and try to get the lead runner at third base, because Ortiz does not run that well. So a lot of times the manager will not put the sacrifice on because of the lack of speed. I mean, once he gets going, but it might take him halfway to third to do that.
He's going to bunt, and it's popped up in the air, and Ramon's right there to make the catch. So Denny Hocking cannot get the bunt down. One away.
Trying to bunt it to third base, which you change everything. Check the angle of the bat of Hocking. He dropped it down. If he kept the angle the right way, he would have gotten the ball on the ground, but kind of dipped the bat and got under it. And the A's catch a break with a pop-up. Usually Hocking is good about the fundamentals, the little things.
That's why it's surprising. He's such a good all-around player. He can play him anywhere. First, second, short, third, into the outfield positions. Did not get down with that low one, and he popped it. So here's Tom Prince, the veteran backup catcher. He fouls one straight back. He's in over A.J. Pierzynski tonight, as Tom is a right-handed batter, and the young all-star Pierzynski also swings from the right side, but apparently they just wanted Prince in there against Zito.
Now look at the numbers.
He's 1 for 1.
Well, but overall against the A's, he's had some good games against the A's.
Tom Prince been around for a while, Ray.
I think it's again an opportunity for a manager. They've got a lead in the Central Division, but use his bench, and the bench is important. Ron Gardenhire getting a chance to play some guys didn't play last night. Say, watching some of the Twins hitters, it's almost like a major league pitcher going to the minor leagues. It's the worst thing ever for a major league pitcher because you can't set up guys. You can't fool them. Moore hit a 3-2 changeup like he knew it was coming for a base hit. And of course the 0-2 changeup that was hit by LaCroix, the 2-run home run, that you know, that's frustrating at times. You want to see guys get off balance, and in the 2 games the Twins have not been off balance that much.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the aggressive style of hitting, or just maybe not thinking too much, not thinking that, well, I'm going to get a certain pitch in a certain count. They're just looking for the ball and hitting it, and it could be also that the changeup tonight from Zito is not fooling the hitters that much. Didn't fool LaCroix.
No.
You know.
Well, it was thrown down the middle on 0-2, which didn't help. 3-1 pitch, and this one is popped. Who wants it? Chavez coming in from third base will make the catch. Infield fly rule was called anyway. So the batter automatically out. Tom Prince retired.
Good pitch that time. Getting the fastball in on Prince, especially in a 3-1 count. I wanted to extend his arms, and we've already seen Reed do that in the first 3 hitters to the A's.
Ortiz opened the inning with that hard smash that went off the glove of Miguel. Then Dustin Moore singled to left. So Zito 1 out away from pitching out of this. He'll face the top of the order. Beautiful curveball to Bobby Kelty. Barry did not have the snap on the curveball last outing in Seattle, nor did he have at the start before in Cincinnati when he was a winner. Didn't get that curveball going until much later in the game. This one lifted out to shallow center. It is Ellis who will venture out to make the catch, and Barry Zito gets it together in time to strand 2 runners after a quick lead to face David Justice when we come back. 2-0 Twins. Well, I am most looking forward to the Best Damn Sports Show period's All-Star Summer continuing tonight as these people out here in Oakland is they're going to play a little sports trivia with Fredericks of Hollywood lingerie models. That is going to be very interesting. Kurt Schilling's going to sound off on baseball's taboos, and our claymation version of John Kruk is going to do lunch with NFL MVP Kurt Warner. I hope he's a better tipper than the real version. Best Damn Sports Show period All-Star Summer rolls on after the A's and the Twins. Here's David Justice. David has been stuck on 4 homers for a while. Seeing a guy he knows quite well, Rick Reed, longtime Pittsburgh Pirate. And he went to Kansas City and Texas, then back to the National League, Cincinnati, and a 5.5-year New York Met before coming to Minnesota last year in July. Lazy fly ball. That's Dustin Moore out and right. And a retired Justice, one away.
And once again, Reed fell behind 2-0. Fastball inside. Justice swung in pretty good swing, but the fact that it was inside got it on the hands enough that he could not really drive the ball.
This guy's not going to be a right-handed version of Jamie Moyer, is he?
So it's too hard.
And he's already had too much success at a young age. 2-time All-Star Rick Reed. The A's, Eric Chavez obviously has never seen this guy. He did not face the A's after the trade last year. The A's were in Minnesota in late July, and he came just before the deadline on the 30th of July. In fact, the A's have not seen Rick Reed since he was a Royal back in '92. There's a strike. And there's a ball and 2 strikes on Eric Chavez, who will not be an All-Star after all. Fouled straight back, and that's going in the twin booth. Bert Blyleven, the Dutch master, had a shot, I think, at that ball and let it go. Charlene make the play behind him.
Well, at least Bert made one Hall of Fame. Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame, but he still wants and should get the Baseball Hall of Fame. Come up short.
Chavez fakes it, right field, reaching out. Pretty impressive swing. David Ortiz likes that, Ray, as he went out and got a pitch and hooked it.
Change up outside, and watch Shabby just get out and reaching. Of course, I mean, nothing really amazes us anymore with some of the swings he puts on and the way he hits the ball, and well, for how much he's fooled, but it always reminds us that his bat is back. The body might be out far enough, too far sometimes, but he keeps the bat back, and he's really strong upper body.
Now, you talked earlier about frustrating the pitch to the Twins batters because it's difficult to set them up. It also must be difficult for the opponents to pick to Eric Chavez. I mean, what would the scouting report be for Chavez? How do you get the guy out?
Throw him a strike.
Throw him one right down the middle. A little like Edgar Martinez. Just throw it down the middle and hope he misses it. Because if you pitch him away, he's going to hit it in the gap. In right center, you come in, he's going to line it. You throw Eric one over his head, he's going to get on top. You throw him one down low, he's going to hit it over 400 feet out to center. He is remarkable. Jermaine dive, trying to get going. Jermaine hitless last night in 3 at-bats, now 0 for his last 22.
I think Jermaine Dye is going through something that a lot of people just don't realize, and who knows, it might be all year with that broken left leg that sustained last year in the playoffs. It may take all year before he feels to the point that he's 100%.
Hit this one hard, ground single up the middle. Chavez will stop. Torrey Hunter bobbles the ball, and Chavez will go to third. Torrey Hunter, a little bobble out there from the Gold Glover. And Eric Chavez very alertly takes the extra base on him.
Chavez did the best thing. He ran hard to second and made a turn. And Torrey Hunter might have peaked just a little bit, but a good swing by Jermaine died down, went down and got it on a 2-strike pitch. And Chavez got to second base, and Torrey Hunter just overran it, then looked up, and at that point Chavez, watch as he hits the bag and he sees the bobble and it just kicks it in gear. He didn't come to a dead stop at second, and because of that, able to kick it in gear, and A's have a chance to do something here with 1 out.
Here's John Mabry, one of the hottest hitters in the lineup. He was 4 for 4. Jermaine was leaning and gets picked off base. What a tough break for Jermaine. Just breaks his 0 for 22 with a base hit and is only on base for a few moments before getting picked off. 2 away. Oh, a nice move there by Rick Reed.
Oh, the fake to third, and boy, he got it. Not really an aggressive fake to third, just kind of a,
no.
Let's see what he's doing.
That's why they do that play, is to see if you're going to break a little bit. John Mabry again was not in the initial lineup, but the injury to Scott Hatteberg gets him in. Scott with a tricep tendonitis in the right arm. Actually suffered during batting practice yesterday. Felt something. Mabry lifts this one, shallow right. Dustin Moore coming in. And the A's are not going to get a run. That ball may have been deep enough, certainly would have been deep enough to get Chavez in from third with just 1 out, but not with 2 outs. Doesn't score anybody. At the end of 2, 2-0 Twins. Matthew LeCroy, a 2-run homer, his first at-bat of the game. And he is going to hit here in the 3rd against Barry Zito, who'll hit 3rd. Christian Guzman will lead off, then Corey Koski, and then LeCroy. Guzman takes a strike on a change-up, first pitch change-up. Guzman walked his first time up and was caught stealing, broke too early from second base. We've had Guzman thrown out trying to go from second to third very little earlier, and Jermaine Dye just picked off base a moment ago, which cost the A's a run. Slowly hit ball. Zito's all over it. And Barry will throw out Guzman for the first out of the 3rd inning. Well, if you're a catfish hunter fan like I am, you're going to certainly want to be here on Sunday, as the great one will be honored with his own bobblehead doll. There's 15,000 fans will receive a catfish hunter bobblehead doll. Who would have ever thought that day? Courtesy of Wells Fargo, celebrating its own legacy. 150 years, Wells Fargo, and the A's, of course, celebrating their first ever championship here in Oakland, led by Catfish in their win over the Reds in 1972. And the A's have announced something we've touched on, Ray, throughout the last few weeks. Officially, they're going to have a 30th anniversary of the club's 72 World Series title on Saturday, July the 20th, when the A's take on the Texas Rangers. Vito will be back. Joe Rudy, 72 World Series MVP. Gene Tennis will be here. John Blue Moon Odom, Dick Green, Dave Hamilton, and Dick Williams, the manager. He talked about Herb Blyleven not being in the Hall of Fame. How about Dick Williams not being in the Hall of Fame? He'll be here. We're going to have in the Eastside Club pregame ceremonies. Monty Moore, great longtime voice of the A's, will be back.
Monty's got to be here.
Got to.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll make the trip in from Porterville, where he lives now. A's are going to wear throwback uniforms for that game. They're going to wear the old gold tops from the early 70s.
Well, it really works well because wore the white pants anyway, so just add the gold tops to it.
This one's topped by Koski. Mabry got a hustle. Zito, no! Well, Zito couldn't beat Ichiro in Seattle on Thursday, and he can't beat Koski here. It's a bang-bang play, but Mike Van Vliet says safe. Koski has the infield single. 1 away still, and he's on base.
Zito falls a little bit towards third base and just did not react quickly enough to get over. His little foot race again. And there's the step beating. Zito kind of feeling for the bag, but I think if Zito had broken immediately, would have gotten him. Good hustle by Koski to beat it out, smelled a base hit and got it.
Well, Barry himself admitted, and Tim Hudson thought he saw it. Art Howe said that Barry was gooned out, whatever that means. But Barry said, I just wasn't myself last outing in Seattle, Fosse, because of the whole all-star thing. Would he make it? Would he not? Well, he's now an all-star. And he still looks at times just not to be the same guy we have seen for almost the entire year and the way the season ended last year. Way in tight. With the fastball pushing LaCroix back. LaCroix hit the home run off of Barry. It was an 0-2 changeup. And that one pitch, a departure from how the A's have been pitching him tonight and last night, which has been fastballs in. Ramon moves back inside. There's the fastball fouled off the plate umpire and on the mask of Dana DeMute. Here is the Chevrolet drive of the game. Fosse, LaCroix's home run back in the first.
Well, you can see Ramon Hernandez move outside for the changeup, but man, that floated right in the heart of the plate. You know, I think we've come to expect an awful lot from Barry Zito, and he's done it, you know, but he had a bad game against the Mariners because his head wasn't on straight, and then he comes back, maybe struggles a little bit, but still, he's human. I mean, everybody goes through a little tough time.
Runner takes off. Ramon dropped. The pitch was towards up and in. Corey Koski picks up the steal. Count is 2-1 on LaCroix.
As we were talking last night, Koski just kind of surprises people with his speed. Still stolen bases, and Ramon, the transfer of the ball to the glove, the hand just cut out and do it. Try to be a little bit too quick.
Now Ramon's coming out to talk to Zito.
Actually, a pretty good ball to throw up and in, catch it, bring it back to your hand, but there's where he dropped it. Just could not handle it. But that's kind of an automatic. It forces you to square up, turn the shoulder, and make the throw. But the ball to the hand sometimes is tough.
Looked like his curveball there. They didn't change up.
Yep.
And no command of it. 3-1 now to LaCroix. LaCroix is a very good hitter. He's had some great minor league years. Trying to find a spot for him, his bat in this lineup. Fastball, and Barry had enough on that.
Fastball in. Tied him up again.
Well, Barry Zito has 3 pitches, as you're well aware: fastball, change-up, and a curveball, and he's searching for the change in the curve to come along his fastball. See if he goes fastball here on 3-2. He does, and LaCroix hits it to Ellis, and back is Koski. Ellis decided to try to beat him himself, and he just couldn't do it. LaCroix hit the ball reasonably hard on that fastball, but Ellis all over it for the second out of the inning.
3-2, and Ellis top your screen. Played him perfectly. Little foot race again. Really no chance. Koski read it well. The line drive went right back to the bag.
Here's Torrey Hunter now. He flied to left his first time up. He almost went back to back after LaCroix homered. He drove one to the wall. Had Adam Pyatt literally back to the wall. Hunter's got some big time power. Leads this club with 18 homers and 56 RBIs. They're all-star starter. First time the Twins have had one since Kirby in '95. There's a strike. Well, the Twins obviously are sensing that they better get to Zito while they can. Like so many great pitchers, you let him settle in, he can lock in. Fastball strike. One-two pitch. Big curveball, and there it is. The first real hammer he has dropped on the Twins, and he strikes out the All-Star Torrey Hunter. So an All-Star matchup here, and Zito punches out Torrey Hunter. 2-0 Twins lead after 2.5. Well, good sign for Rick Peterson and the A's. Barry Zito closes the top of the third with a hammer. Drops a beautiful curveball to strike out Torrey Hunter. Barry may be getting back to Big Barry. We'll see. Rick Reed and Pyatt jumps all over him. Torrey Hunter going to get back and make the catch routinely for the first out here of the bottom of the third. A's and Twins go tomorrow. We'll have it for you on Fox Sports Net at 7. And the KC Royals will be in on Thursday. And it'll also be the 4th of July Thursday, by the way. 6:35 first pitch this year on the 4th. It's an A&G newspaper family pack game. You get 4 plaza level tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, and 4 sodas to wash it all down. It'll only cost $25. An incredible deal. Maybe the best deal in all of baseball. 510-638-0500. Here's Ramon Hernandez now, the A's number 9 hitter, only starter who has not gotten an IAV yet tonight.
Took him about an hour.
Rick Reed. Where are we? Yeah, a little less than an hour. Last night we still would have been in the first inning, so he would have had his AV.
You're right.
Last night's game dragged just a little bit, didn't it? Didn't have any 1-2-3s last night. These guys were locked in for every pitch, though. He's actually working out right now.
Got that sweatband on just in case there's a heat wave.
Swoosh. Big David Ortiz coming over. Won't quite get there.
That holds the headset up. You know, the sweatband. Yeah, I think it holds the headset in place.
Well, they are living large,
right
aren't
there,
they?
You know, they got the headset there, you know, just a little sweatband around there.
That's exactly what it's doing. They got their peanuts on. They got Bill and Ken on the radio. What else do you need?
A television, so they could watch the game. We'll walk
They're right there. They got
them.
great seats.
Yeah,
watch the game.
You know, let's see highlights, though. You know, Sully and Tommy give us those highlights.
You youngsters. Diving. Koski can't get it. Guzman can, and he will throw out Ramon Hernandez. Nicely done by Christian Guzman. Koski went for it, couldn't quite reach it, but there's the shortstop to bail him out. Nicely done, partner. Two-way.
Well, the only hope there for Ramon was that Koski would deflect the ball and Guzman couldn't come up with it. It's Guzman's ball really all the way. Plenty of time. He almost got a glove on it. Koski did. And still Ramon's out by a couple of steps. Did he get it? Oh, almost. Of course, I guess it's better that it happened that way, because if Koski had in that diving effort gotten up and still thrown out Ramon, then that...
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
That would have been bad. Guzman, a terrific defender. He and Koski are rock solid over on the left side. The right side of their infield, new look tonight. Denny Hocking at second and Ortiz at first over Rivas and Minkiewicz. Rick Reed goes to the batting order a second time. Curveball, curveball. And it's 1-2 on Mark Ellis, who popped to second his first time up.
We mentioned that Reed using mostly fastballs one time through the batting order, and here we go to the top. Already a couple of curveballs. Taking 3.
Slowly hit. Rick Reed throws out Ellis. That is a 1-2-3 third. Rick Reed pitching well here. He leads Barry Zito 2-0 after 3. Minnesota Twins won last night 5-4. They lead the A's by a score of 2-0 tonight. 2-run homer from Matthew Lee Croy back in the first off. How he does here against Ortiz, Dustin Moore, and Denny Hocking in the fourth. Curveball. It's 2 in a row. He struck out Torrey Hunter with a curveball to end the third, and now he breaks it out for Ortiz to start the fourth. Ortiz lashed that ball that went off the glove. It's a hot edge short for an infield single. Pulls this one. Mabry's got it, and Mabry will beat Ortiz rather easily. So 1 away here in the fourth. There's a rumor that Glenn Kuiper has hung around after his pregame. There it is, substantiated.
Hey, why
we
not?
have a Kuip sighting.
It's a ball game. Why not stick around? Hey, during our pregame show today, Vip Roberts and myself talked about that great Barry Zito curveball. Now tonight, he has thrown 12 curveballs so far, 6 of them for strikes. The good news, maybe the 4 best curveballs he has thrown have been his last 4, including 1 looking to Torrey Hunter and 1 swinging to Torrey Hunter. And Greg and Ray, sometimes it takes a couple innings to find that right arm slot for such a big curveball like that. It looks like Barry Zito has found it here in the 4th inning.
Well, we're hoping. He's got certainly, if not the best, one of the best curveballs in baseball today. But he does not even have the best curveball in this stadium. Is that possible?
Well, I agree with you. Bert Blyleven had a great curveball. As we see the pitch grip of Barry Zito's curveball. The thumb on the seam and the index and middle finger. And then he just pulls it down. He does have a couple of different types of curveballs. But Bert Blyleven was right over the top, threw hard. Excellent hook. I faced him in 1969 in the Instructional League in Florida, as he was there for his first year of pro ball. And I said, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Did you call home?
Ooh, no.
Mom.
Oh, man.
Is this guy Blyleven?
Oh.
I'm in trouble.
He was nasty.
And we often say that Barry is the best curveball since Sandy Koufax. Shame on us.
Well, I'm sure Bert is very impressed with Mr. Zito and impressed with that fastball as well after showing his curveball and change up a little bit more.
Well, he is an all-star, Barry Zito. Bert Blyleven was a right-hander. Barry, of course, as you know, a left-hander. Who was the last Athletics left-handed pitcher to be named in all-star? Affleck Ducky wants to know tonight. Last A's left-handed pitcher to be an all-star. Kurt Young never made it, did he, Ray? I don't believe so.
I don't think so. It'd be too easy to say Vida Blue. I mean, it's got to be somebody since then. I think.
You would think. Ken Holtzman?
Ken Holtzman, yeah.
I think Holtzman would be. How about in Billy's guys? Which Keogh? Matt Keogh? He's a righty. He's a righty. Which lefties they have in that staff? None? Caddy wasn't he? Was a righty. Kingman, Langford, Keogh. No.
Norris.
How about
Right
Matt
there.
Young? Well, Matt Young, Kurt Young. No. Holtzman make it in there? He always get. Can't be right. That's a long time. Hocking the other way, base hit. Well, it was surprising Hocking was looking to bunt his last at-bat. First and second, nobody out. A bunt situation for some. But Hocking hit so well in this stadium and against the A's. I think the A's were glad to see him try to bunt. He eventually popped it. It fouled out to Ramon Hernandez. Here's Tom Prince now.
You know, if the manager gives you the bunt,
you got a bunt.
Got to try to do it.
Even Reggie, although he didn't want to. He got a bunt as a Yankee and didn't go so well.
I can imagine.
Strike. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Tom Prince. Barry Zito and Mark Burley are left-handed starters this year to make the All-Star game. Eddie Guardado out of the bullpen is also a lefty closer. Those are certainly an oddity. Dave Righetti was a pretty good one, though. 2-1 pitch.
John Franco not bad.
Tom Glavine, an all-star in the National League, a left-hander. Dallas Perez of the Dodgers. Oh, big curveball. That's grounded right to Miguel Tejada, and he will flip out, hawking on the force. Nicely done by the all-star Tejada. Will answer the all-star question with Zito when we come back. Bottom 4, 2-0 Twins. Do we have to go back to Vida Blue, who was the last A's lefty to be named an all-star? And in fact, it is Vida, but not the 71 year. This is the 71 all-star game in Detroit as he strikes out Joe Torre there. But Vida did make the club in 75. Here he gets Dennis Menke in the 72 World Series. Well, was he something to watch?
He could bring it. Wow.
So Barry Zito was the first A's lefty all-star since Vida Blue. Ken Holtzman did make the all-star team in 72 and 73, but Vida made it in 75, so Vida is the most recent. Terrence Long leading off for the A's tonight out of the number 2 hole. Hatteberg was in that spot, then the injury with Scott, the triceps tendonitis, forced him out of the lineup. I don't even think he's available to hit later on. So Long moved up from 7th to 8th, and Mabry in the lineup. There's a strike from Rick Reed, the 2-time all-star from the National League. That 71 all-star game. That was incredible. Now, you actually were voted on that club, weren't you, Ray?
Yes. Yeah. But I made a mistake of charging the mound.
Is that how you got hurt?
Well, it was the end result is because of that. Charged the mound and against the Tigers, and as Jim Price will tell you today, that Bill Dennehy used the first karate kick ever on the mound as a pitcher. I charged him and he stuck his foot up and I ran into his cleats.
Ooh.
And I was bleeding quite seriously.
That is a base hit off the glove of Hocking as he jumped for it. So T. Long opens the 4th with a base hit. So long before Pat Corrales and Dave Stewart,
Yeah.
it was you, huh? And Dennehy?
Yes. Try to go inside again, and this time T. Long's clear as the hands to get the base hit. Oh, when I charged him out, I expected, but he just stuck his foot up and kicked. And I went to hit him, and I had 7 stitches in my right hand.
Is that where he got
me in
you?
the neck.
Ah.
But I was hit in the left hand, and I didn't know it because the stitches in the right hand of my neck, I got cut there. And I was facing Denny McLean after I came back, and he threw a slider, and I tried to hold up, and because the hand was weak, I tore something in my left hand, and just about 6 or 7 weeks. But every time I charged the mound, my wife would say, "You're foolish. You're going to come out bleeding anyway." But I got hit, and I knew I got hit. I mean, intentionally. That was.
He said all the times I charged the mound. We've been working together for years now, and you always get on these guys when they charge the mound. Tejada fouls it. Get hit, go down to first and take it. But you're a charger.
No, see the real difference then. It was against the Tigers and Al Kaline and Willie Fort and all these guys, and our pitcher hit 3 guys. Kaline came up, and it was like a little prayer. Dear Lord, don't let him hit the franchise. And he low-bridged him. And I helped Kaline up. Billy Martin was managing, and Greg Nettles told me later that Martin was in the dugout pointing to Dennehy, pointing in his face. And I happened to be the next hitter.
So you got it. Tejada gets one up the middle, and Long goes to 3rd. Good base running by T. Long. He kicked it. The A's back-to-back hits here in the 4th.
Well, that's aggressiveness. That's to go back to spring training. David Justice talking about taking the extra base. And the ball slowed down a little bit. Art Howard's reminding. Fake to 3rd, look to 1st. 2 strikes on Tejada. Base hit. Again, Reed goes inside. So maybe the A's hitter's talking a little bit about, hey, if he gets ahead or even behind, he's going to try to work the inside of the plate. And T-Long might have deked Hunter a little bit, came in, and then took off towards third. So good aggressive base running by Terrence Long after a base hit to start the inning.
Well, T-Long has a gear.
Yes.
He has third gear. Couple of steps beyond second. He just kicked it. And he really took off. That was impressive. So first and third, A's down 2-0, trying to get after Rick Reed here. A's are seeing him for a second time through the batting order, which often is the cure. David Justice flied out to right. His first time up. A throw down. And making it back safely is Long. That's the veteran Tom Prince gunning one down from behind the plate to third base.
And Terrence Long hurt his finger. Jammed his right ring finger into the bag. That's a pre-planned play by Prince. He wanted the pitch up and away, almost like a pitch out, and a pickoff play put on with Koski, and got his hand.
That's the very reason why you see the runners on base holding those gloves, so you don't hurt the fingers. Justice, foul ball to Mike Quaddy, coaching at first base. Manny Ramirez was out doing that at home plate, of course, and he is back, but having a hard time refining his swing, as you can imagine. Red Sox a doubleheader today. They won the first game, I know, and they have won the second game. They won both over the Blue Jays. Won 6-4 in the second game. 1-2 pitch, way in tight. Now it's 2-2. So to summarize your story, were you done charging after that, or did you still go out?
That was the last time.
That was the last time.
Have to be worried about those spikes kicking you.
He knew you were coming, though, huh?
Well, he said, well, what would you do if you see a raging bull coming at you? It was interesting. In '75, we happened to join the A's, and we were in a clubhouse, and I was sitting in front of my locker with a bat, and he came up to me and he says, "You might not remember me," and he mentioned his name, and that bat got. I said, "Get out of here!" Oh, I was still mad.
Are you kidding?
Oh.
Wow, he's a teammate.
Not long. He didn't make it.
How long did he make it? He made a phone call.
Oh.
Count is full. We're getting into it here now. David Justice, the batter. Tejada, the runner at first base. Rick Reed, impeccable control. One of the very best with his command. See if Art Howe starts. Tejada, good runner, and David Justice, a smart hitter. He wants time, though. Justice backs out.
But as Art Howe reminded Tejada and Long, fake to third, look to first. He's already used it once, and that in itself will possibly keep Tejada at first a little bit longer if he is running. At least it should.
Tejada's not going. Justice reaching out. Flips it foul.
Well, one of the best at fouling off tough pitches, especially off speed. He has a leg kick. Gets the off-speed pitch away and is able to reach out and foul it. The A's offense figured that Zito's getting it going. Try to score him some runs now.
We talk about plate coverage with Eric Chavez. David Justice has great plate coverage himself. He has incredibly long arms. Inside, ball 4. The bases are loaded and nobody out, and the batter is Eric Chavez.
Talk about somebody selling a pitch. David Justice with a fastball in after been going away. As soon as the ball was thrown, it's almost as if he said, "It's inside, I'm going to first base." And that's a confidence to know in the strike zone.
Eric Chavez singled to right field his first time up, but that was with nobody on base. Now he's on with 3 on. And there's a strike. one foul on a play. Count is 0-2.
Again, staying inside the first two pitches to Zito. The fastballs.
The long single to open the inning. Tejada followed with a single, and then the walk to David Justice. Time called. Here comes Tom Prince, the catcher.
Chavez singled on a 2-2 changeup in his first at bat. That was with nobody on base, and maybe to think about how they are going to continue this at bat. They've stayed hard with a fastball.
Inside and missed.
Well, he's not missing by much.
That's a good pitcher's pitch there.
Wow.
Dana DeMute didn't go for it, but Rick Reed really spotted his fastball well here.
It's not getting a lot of movement coming back. Prince moves off the plate, but it stays there. Good call by Dana DeMute. This ball is not sinking back. I don't know if that's an intentional, trying to get him to try to jam him, or doesn't look like he's trying to get the strike in there.
Coming back in, Ray. Chavez, when he singled to right last time, you recall, went out and got one, a breaking ball, and hooked it to right. And now Reed coming in. Reed is out of bullets now, though. It's 3-2.
5 pitches, 5 fastballs inside. So they change up and go off speed now.
See where Prince goes. He's moving away. Fastball hit right to Guzman. And that is going to be a double play. Long will score from third, but the Twins take that exchange. Gardenhire had the infield back. And he gets 2, gives up the run. No RBI for Chavez. Twins lead down to 2-1.
Well, the 6 pitches to Chavez. Fastball for a strike, and the fastball inside fouls it back. And here we go with 3 in a row. Fastball in. Fastball in again, misses. Fastball in and misses again. Now we'll watch where Prince goes. Away, Chavez hits it hard, but right at Guzman. Is that only the second time he's grounded into a double play this year?
Yes, you're right. He grounded in one in Tampa earlier this year. It's the second time all year, Ray.
But he hit it hard, but right at Guzman. But that's just enough to get maybe the hitter thinking. Fastball in again just to open up. But Chavez almost as if he knew the fastball was coming away. Able to handle it, but a little atom ball.
Well, here's Jermaine Dye now with 2 outs. Tejada, the runner at third base. Miguel coming down the line. Dye gets ahead in the count. As he takes that one low, the count is 2 balls and a strike. Dye singled to center his last time up. They break it over for 22, but he was very quickly thereafter picked off base on the look to third, throw to first. Strike. Rick Reed is a guy you have to warm up to. You watch him initially and you think, well, he's got nothing. But he knows how to move it around, doesn't he?
Can we say he's a crafty right-hander?
He's a crafty right-hander. He's the opposite of Jamie Moyer. Oh, off the foot. Every time he does that, it hurts everybody. Well, you're exactly right. We don't use that a lot. A crafty right-hander, but he is.
Check the left foot of Jermaine Dye.
That was up a little bit, too. That was more ankle. He still wears the protection where he was hit and shattered his left tibia last October. caught by Koski. Oh, what a tough break for Jermaine Dyer and the A's. They settle for only one after loading the bases with nobody out. 2-1 Twins after 4. All ages out tonight watching the A's and Twins. SBC Pac Bell line score. Minnesota got 2 in the first and a home run by Matthew LeCroy. A's in the 4th. They get 1, but they're not happy with that. They had bases loaded and nobody out. And settle for only 1. Chavez hit into a double play, and then Dye crushes one, but a nice play made by Corey Koski as he took it leaping from third. Bobby Kelty way out in front. Barry Zito looking better and better as he goes. It's a ball and a strike. Kelty leading off tonight, playing in left field. Kelty is a switch hitter. Big curveball to beauty. Kelty actually is hitting effectively from both sides of the plate. Although throughout his career he has been considered a far better hitter from this side, the right side. Broke his bat on that one. Marcellus will take it on the way. Well, we're approaching the halfway point of our game here in the top of the 5th, and once we are done, the best damn sports show period, All-Star Summer, rolls on. Check this one out. Sports trivia with Fredericks of Hollywood lingerie models. Plus, Kurt Schilling will drop by. He'll sound off on some of baseball's taboos. John Kruk at a dude lunch with Kurt Warner, but it won't be Kruk. It'll be a claymation version of John Kruk. Best damn sports show period ever after our game tonight. Christian Guzman, an all-star last year, trying to refine his game. He walked to open the game tonight, got to second on a ensuing walk to Koski, and then broke too early from second base and was out going to third. Last time up at a comeback, you're facing Zito. A's will not see Eric Milton on this series, Fosse. He will work in Seattle next. After Minnesota leaves for the game Thursday, they'll be in Seattle. Now, this trade really is turning out to be quite the boon for the Twins. You look back on that Chuck Knobloch deal, the way Knobloch is struggling. We'll see the Royals in on Thursday after Minnesota leaves. Where would the Twins be without that trade? They just kept Knobloch. There's going to be a base hit for Guzman the other way. He'll take the turn. Mabry will duck in behind, and Guzman retreats. A bloop single with one out here in the 5th.
They almost got one in the first inning. Gets one here in the 5th. One out. It's amazing the A's don't see Milton, Mays, or Radke. The other two on the DL, but pretty good starting 3 right there.
And not bad.
They're in first place without 2 of them.
And they're hoping to get Mays back very quickly. In fact, Mays is pitching Joe Mays is pitching a minor league game tonight in Fort Myers, and if it goes well tonight, he's hoping he'll get plugged right in to start the second half of the year. Brad Radke is going to wait a little bit longer. He'll probably come back later in July. Boy, Corey Koski backs out and says, "What is this?"
Oh, it's coming at me. I better get out of the way. Strike 1.
The rainbow's back. Guzman has the gloves that he holds to prevent what happened to Terrence Long. Long has gone back to center, though, so good sign he's all right. And it looked like he jammed his finger going back into third base. This one is driven to left. Once he broke his bat, didn't go very far, and then it'll be caught by Pyatt. 2-away. Koski flies out. Guzman back to first.
Only 4 batting gloves. It was then down to pick up a handful of dirt. 2 handfuls, as a matter of fact. That way, when you slid in the second, you throw the dirt in the infielder's face. No.
Charging mounds, blinding middle infielders, Ray. The real Fosse's coming out. I know if we worked long enough together, we'd find out the real stories. LaCroix homered early in the game. This one going to go to the wall. Guzman going to come around third. Al Newman will wave him in, and LaCroix picks up another RBI. He has all three of the Twins' run-producing hits off of Barry Zito. This one's a 2-out double, and the Twins get that lead back. They gave up in the fourth. They're back up by 2 with 3-1.
Get a changeup for a 2-run home run and a curveball for a run-scoring double. Adam Pike could not get to it to cut it off, and watch as the ball goes to the wall. It stays right there. Does not come back hard, and of course great speed by Guzman with 2 outs, and he is sprinting, and Al Newman waving all the way.
Hello, Newman. Goodbye, Newman. Well, I think I'd go back to the fastballs in with that guy, huh? He hits a changeup, he hits a curveball, he's pretty good. Torrey Hunter will foul out to John Mabry, and now we have hit the halfway point of the game. The Twins won last night. They lead tonight, and they've got that great bullpen. 3-1 after 4.5. Well, today's July 2nd, so the 4th comes up in just a couple of days. Thursday, when the Royals are here and get here early, game time at 6:30, but first 15,000 fans will get an A's cap, and not just any A's cap, a red, white, and blue A's cap, courtesy of AT&T Broadband. And to be with us on the 4th, 510-762-BALT or OaklandAthletics.com. I think his girlfriend's going to get him one of those caps. You actually pick those up at the concession stands.
Which ones?
Either one. No, I don't think the red, white, and blue. That's the mop he's got on. The Zito from spring training look. Dan Jones, by the way, congratulations to you. Dan watching A's baseball in Livermore. He's our winner tonight in the Volvo Grand Slam 5th here on Fox Sports Net. And he'll be dropping by the Coliseum to watch the A's play. 2 free tickets. Looking for the A's to avoid Torrey Hunter here and get a slam. And Dan's got a brand new Volvo S60. John Mabry almost had a 7 RBI 2 at-bat exchange last night. Was that amazing? And Art Howe agrees with you, Ray. He thinks he hit the second one better than he hit the first one, but Hunter got the second one. Mabry slicing shot to left, going after it is Kelty, and he can't quite get there, and he takes a seat.
Goodness.
He's no Jock Jones in left. He's no Torrey Hunter. He was reaching for it. Tells you just how tough it is to make a play like Torrey Hunter made last night.
Yeah. Well, he jumps right there, and I mean, it kind of looks a little funny. I hope he's all right, but I mean, just you figured.
He jumped after it went by.
Yeah.
He just jumped into the wall. We're not going to laugh. We're not going to laugh at the guy. We're not going to laugh at the guy. That's the anti-Torrey right there. So that guy got so famous last night for crashing into the wall on a home. I'm going to try it. What do you think? I'm a tough guy. Actually, I asked Dick Bramer, who works with Bert Blyleven on their TV side, the TV voice of the Twins. Is that one of the best plays? I know Torrey Hunter's great, but is that the best play he's made? And he said, I'd put it in at least the top 5 this year.
Right.
But what? Top 5 this year. Mabry's going his way again. Hunter back over his head. He plays it well, though, and fires in. And Mabry will make it. Boy, he tracked that beautifully. John Mabry, he keeps going to center. He's 2 out of 3 against Hunter, as he smokes another for a leadoff double here in the Volvo Grand Slam 5th.
Well, just smart hitting. Fouled off again, 2 pitches away from him. And then on a 3-2 with Reed, it's tough to just set dead fastball, but he does. Smoked it over Hunter's head and off the top of the wall. But he's hustling, knowing that Hunter got to the ball, has a strong arm to get it back in, so he has a leadoff double. I give him a lot of credit. I'll test him out again.
Throw right at it.
Yeah.
You hit that 400-foot marker again, I bet he won't catch it. He almost made a Dwayne Murphy catch there. I was looking for that over-the-shoulder catch. Trying to pick off Mabry, and it rolls off the glove of Guzman. Rick Reed is not like base runners. As soon as he allows them, he tries to eliminate them by picking them off. Is this guy hot, John Mabry? He is remarkable.
You know, and a guy gets that hot, you throw out all the matchups, all the numbers. You figure he's hot, he's going to just let it ride.
Well, he was not in the initial lineup tonight. It was the injury to Scott Hatteberg. Scott was in the initial lineup. It was posted several hours before the game, and then about an hour or so, a little bit less than that, he was scratched, and Mabry was inserted.
What are Larry Davis and Steve Sales going to do? Well, they've got somebody hurt. Not on the disabled list, but Larry Davis just kind of doing a great job, but nobody's been injured.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, I know it's great. Trainers love it. I mean, they have plenty of work to do anyway. But
you got to make sure these guys make the games. Nice play by Koski. Boy, is he good at third. David Ortiz, the scoop. Corey Koski is a tremendous defender. Ortiz is playing pretty well at first base. We were kidding earlier. He had the webbing of his glove break a couple of years ago, and he didn't have a backup to play at first base, and he was always in Tom Cuddy's doghouse.
Well, Adam Pye with the breaking ball pulled it, and Koski, the dive and the throw, and after the scoop by Ortiz, the ball way out in front of him, and Koski yelling over to Ortiz, saying thank you for picking me up. That's a pretty good scoop there. It wasn't as far out as it seemed. Adam Pye not able to get the runner over to third base.
So here's Ramon Hernandez with one out. A's are down 3-1. A's had their chances last night as they left 12 runners on base. Leadoff double here by Mabry. Don't want to leave him stranded after scoring only one run in the previous inning when they had the bases loaded and nobody out. It's the fifth inning, folks. You wait any longer against this club, you're going to have to do it against their rock-solid bullpen. Ramon takes a strike. Rick Reed is impressing. We haven't seen this guy in a long, long time. In fact, we were kidding earlier. We haven't seen him since '92, and I said in '92 he probably matched up with Ron Darling. It's been so long, and David Feldman looked it up, and the last time we saw Rick Reed, he went up against Ron Darling as a member of the Royals. Ron's still living in the area. He lives out in Blackhawk. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-2 pitch. Ramon fouls it back.
Said he died of curveballs to Ramon.
And a good curveball. Rick Peterson often talks about you flip the lineup over and how important it is to get into more pitches later. The A's are seeing Rick Reed now for a second time through. Mabry applied to right the first time. Second time up, he doubles. Ramon hanging in here. Ramon bounced to short his first time tonight. Greg Myers caught last night, and tonight it is Ramon behind the plate. 2-2 pitch. Inside jammed him. I mentioned the Rick Reed trade last year, and at the time we were all scratching our heads why the Twins would trade Matt Lawton, giving up a huge part of their offense to get Rick Reed. As a nice pitcher, but they were strong with pitching. Actually, it was going to be part one of a 2-part trade. Terry Ryan thought he had a deal with then Blue Jay man GM Gordash to get Shannon Stewart, but the deal fell apart as the Blue Jays knew the Twins kind of boxed themselves in. They asked for a hotter prospect, former #1 pick Adam Johnson. Ryan didn't want to make that deal. And the Twins lost some offense. Rick Reed did not pitch very well when he became a Twin. In fact, in August, he was horrible. His ERA was nearly at 7. Yeah, good plate appearance by Ramon. He's able to wiggle a walk out of it against a guy who's difficult to draw 4 wide ones against. So top of the order now. The A's will go through the lineup a 3rd time against Rick Reed.
Well, the pitch count up to 85 for Reed, and that's after throwing just 36 in the first 3 innings. I think it worked out well for the Twins with a couple of rookie outfielders to take over for Lawton in that regard. And of course, puncher in center, Jack Jones in left.
I don't think they missed Lawton right now, do they? They're doing fine without. A lot of people think that Hunter and Jones have flourished since Lawton left. Well, here's Mark Ellis. Ellis pulls one to Koski. He's got to find the ball. He will scramble and get the out. Not sure if he had thoughts of a double play, but that was nullified when he couldn't find the ball. He is able to force out Mabry 2 away. Runners still at 1st and 2nd, and T. Long will bat. Ellis reaches on the fielder's choice.
Came running in with Ellis, maybe a threat to bunt, and if he had stayed back, would have had a better chance to get a double play. But with 1st and 2nd, after bobbing the ball, all they had to do is find the ball, find 3rd base.
Usually you make that bobble at 3rd, you're in trouble, but with a runner at 2nd, 1st and 2nd, you make that bobble, you have a reprieve.
Kind of an afterthought as he came running in, probably because of the possibility of Ellis bunting.
Maybe it would have won out.
That was balanced off a little bit, but he's got 1 out.
Terrence Long singled to right to open the A's 4th. Advanced to 3rd, and he scored the A's only run. 2nd base, the runner is Ramon Hernandez. 1st base, Mark Ellis. A's down 3-1. Now it's 2-0.
Not only did the Twins trade for Rick Reed, but he had the option of demanding a trade when the season was over. He traded like that, but decided to stay.
Wise call.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever was serious about it. His agent was bluffing. See if he could get a trade, and his option was to become a free agent. And he'd make $7 million this year. He's not going to get that kind of money in this market after his 2nd half last year. But if you are dealt during a multi-year contract, you can't exercise the right to ask for a trade in the ensuing off-season. T. Long 1 away from loading him up for the All-Star. Miguel Tejada. Take 1 here on 3-0. He does. It's a strike.
He has been hitting 89 to 92, and the reading is correct. That was an 80-mile-an-hour fastball. Get me over fastball on the 3-0. Maybe thinking that Terrence Long might have the green light, so he didn't want to give him the good fastball.
T. Long to center, and right at Torrey Hunter. Easy play for him. The A's again leadoff double, don't score. We've played 5, 3-1. Rick Reed over Barry Zito. They're a little down in the dumps, aren't they? A's got time to come back. These guys are feeling glum. Lexus line score shows the A's just 1 run, 5 hits.
Put the caps on right.
These guys. They get to watch Zito throw that rainbow curve. Weakly hit by Ortiz right to Eric Chavez. And the big man Ortiz retired 1 away.
That's a huge swing and shaking his head with a big curve from Zito.
Zito's curveball really becoming a force here. Ever since he threw one to Torrey Hunter to strike out the 3rd, he's had a very good one. And Rick Reed has been keeping the A's tied up in knots. The A's have had their chances tonight, but they're 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Here's Dustin Moore, rookie right fielder, takes a strike. Moore singled to left his first time up and struck out looking in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. pop. Mabry coming over, but will not have a play. It's behind the Twin dugout back in the crowd.
Well, Zito's had an excellent fastball when he's pitched inside to righties tonight. They've broken a few bats, jammed hitters.
I think his fastball, Ray, kept him afloat in the early innings. His change was not good. His curveball was not good. His fastball really kept him going.
Backing up another fastball in. For him, the fastball inside to a right-hander could be a good setup pitch because the hitter's thinking inside and throw the backdoor breaking ball, which he throws so effectively. Like that.
It's biting now. Dustin Moore hits the bag. He has to turn and come back now. It's a foul ball the whole way. Joe Torre said earlier tonight in a conference call that Barry Zito will not be overused in the All-Star game a week from tonight. If he even gets into the game, it'll be to face a batter. He said he'd get it out and that'd be it. So he's not going to leave him out there too long. Barry's going to work on Sunday to close the first half against the Royals. 1-2 pitch. Fastball pushed him back, 2-2. Well, you would think Derek Lowe will start the game, huh? Well, he's not pitched real well his last 2 outings. Pedro's not going to go for the All-Star game. All-Star game will be on the Fox network next Tuesday night from Milwaukee. 2-2 pitch. It's gone full now. Barry approaching 100 pitches. Ed Bosley, ace hitting coach, and Ron Washington, third base coach. Getting a little better view where they are. There's ball 4. Tough one. Barry Zito gets ahead of Dustin Moore and then walks him.
Well, if there's one pitch that, and even going back to Seattle, that Barry's had a little problem with, is a changeup when he's tried to nail the outside corner. Been a few, but he walked Boone early in the game last Thursday in Seattle. He just threw all fastballs except for one curveball to Moore, but then tried to finish him off with a changeup and left it outside.
And that's a pitch we talk the least about. But that changeup when it's working, Ray, is really, it's as good as the fastball or the curveball as far. He needs them all working to be.
You know, it's not a pitch, though, that ideally you want to throw for the corners because it is a change. It's going to have a tendency to move away from righties from the lefty. It's a pitch you want to throw more in the fastball count, although 3-2 is, but it's a pitch that has to be thrown for a strike on 3-2 if the hitter doesn't swing.
John Mabry's going to come running in from first base. A little thought for Barry Zito. He's not going to do the old trick where he keeps the ball, is he?
Get off the bag. Let me clean the bag off here.
Let's see here. Who's got the ball?
It's a balk. Barry's on the mound. It's got to be off.
Let's not go back to that. He was called for a balk, cost him a run last Thursday in Seattle. Throw over again.
Well, Mabry didn't tell him not to throw over.
That's what it's all about.
First baseman will go over and say, that's enough. He's not going anywhere. Don't throw over. That means Barry would have to look over the dugout and shake his head. So Ken Mockler out how.
Now he goes. Ground ball. Ellis. One double play anyway. Nicely done by Ellis. Even with Dustin Moore running, Mark Ellis stays in there and doubles Denny Hocking.
And the right guy covering. There's a ball right up the middle and quick reflexes by the young second baseman and completes an easy double play.
They love their A's, and they love their Best Damn Sports Show, period, coming your way right after the game. Sports trivia with the Fredericks of Hollywood lingerie models. That's what you always want to do with models, is play trivia. All-star pitcher Kurt Schilling will drop by, talk about what's taboo in our game. And John Kruk, claymation version of John Kruk, going to do lunch with Kurt Warner. Chevy line score. We hit the bottom of the sixth. Tejada will lead off against Rick Reed. Rick Reed is throwing a whale of a game here. Tejada has one of the A's 5 hits tonight. Miguel singled to center. That's when the A's loaded the bases with nobody out and scored their only run of the evening. Tejada lifts this one out of play. He's down 0-2. Rick Reed has had some starts like this. He's had some very good ones. He's had a share of mediocre to bad ones, but he shut the Phillies down for 7 innings 2 starts ago. Nasty curveball, strikes out Miguel Tejada, the all-star shortstop, on 3 pitches. 1 away. Wow, it's getting late, and you got to deal with that twin bullpen after you deal with Mr. Reed, don't you, Kai?
Yeah, you ain't lying. Now, one of the things the A's offense does best is to jack up the opposing pitcher's pitch count. Now, even though they're trailing Rick Reed right now by a score of 3-1, he has thrown 94 pitches in 5 1/3 innings. But as you said, going to the bullpen, no big deal for those Minnesota Twins. They lead the American League in appearances out of their bullpen. So that bullpen pitches a lot, and it pitches well. Greg and Ray, back to you guys.
Well, they've had to, Kai, for the injuries to Joe Mays and Brad Radke, and the mediocre year of Eric Milton and Rick Reed. They really have not had very good starting pitching, which was supposed to be their staple heading into the year. Bullpen has been just extraordinary, led by the all-star closer Guardado, but not just him, Ray. We have Troy Hawkins, that we saw last night. J.C. Romero, many people thought should have been an all-star, the left-hander. Now it's 2-1 on David Justice. Twin bullpen was excellent last night. Justice to center. Torrey Hunter going to drift back. 2-away.
Well, they're just not able to, actually, in that case, get out in front and pull the ball. It was a 2-1 count, and Justice with Reed making a pitch in a good location of where David could not pull it. And straightaway center, not a place to hit it tonight, or any night with Hunter out there.
Eric Chavez. Eric singled his first time up, got a curveball away, and hooked it back to right field. His last time up, the big at-bat of the game. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Unusual for Chavez, only the second time all year that he has hit into a double play. This guy's just missing bats, isn't he? Even when you hit the bat, you don't really drive it. One-two pitch. Eric turns on this one, but it goes right in the twin bullpen foul. Nicely done.
And his cap.
No cool on that bullpen.
Fire up the heater.
Eric Chavez out in front again. Will give it a ride, but it's foul. Nice Karen. That guy played the Karen beautifully. Oh. You ran a long way, huh? 1-2 pitch. And he strikes him out. 88-mile-an-hour fastball just avoids the bat. Strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 sixth. Rick Reed, 3-1 as we go to the 7th. Greg Papa, Ray Fosse back with you in the 7th inning now. A Pepsi line score shows the Twins doing it with the pitching. And defense, some timely hitting. 2-run homer by Matthew LeCroy in the first, and he later doubled in a run in the fifth. His only run coming and a bases loaded, nobody out, double play ball off the bat of Eric Chavez. As the A's offense searches for answers, Ray, the good news is Barry Zito's pitching better. This one is lifted to left center. Tejada racing out. T-Long coming in. Tejada's there. He'll make the catch. That's the first out of the inning as he retires Tom Prince. Well, back in the fifth, the A's had a great shot, but Corey Koski, who's made a couple of nice plays here,
Then come running in at that last instant.
that was a big play.
Yep.
And Carl's Jr. in your face play also made a great play to rob Jermaine Dye. And in the fourth, as Jermaine ripped one with a runner at third base and 2 outs, and Koski was able to snag it. After that, nice play at third base. And he will throw out Bobby Kelty. So a couple of quick ones for Barry Zito here in the seventh.
The hot corner. Stand on there 90 feet away and take a blistering shot. Well, I tell you, you just have to have reflex. You have to be able to react, especially a ball hit that hard. Had very little time. Once he caught it, had plenty of time, but as soon as the ball is hit, that's the tough part. I didn't like it down there.
How much you play there? Guzman got jammed. Mabry, who can play a little third, but mainly first in the outfield now. I know you played first, and you thought that was more difficult than
just the exhibition
you ever
game.
imagined.
Played an exhibition game, and I hate it. To be down there with no equipment on.
Well, you could have worn the equipment down there.
But that you learn to really respect the job of a third baseman.
But when you say of all the positions that are most like catcher, third base would be, because that's a reaction, because you're blocking balls and you got to have a great throwing arm. So a lot of guys do go from catch to third. Steinbach went from third to catch.
Right.
But I mean, you were just like a fish out of water there. You just
Oh yeah. I mean, and the throw. I mean, you figure you got all kinds of time, and all of a sudden, it's a long throw. And it has to be an accurate throw.
It's not longer than the plate to second, though. You just felt all disoriented.
Just completely fish out of water.
You only played exhibition, never in the regular season.
Nope.
Javi up the line. Mabry will tag out Guzman. Back to work goes Rick Reed. Let's see if the A's can get him in the bottom of the seventh, down 3-1.
Mountain Dew and Fox Sports Net are giving you a chance to get in the zone. Win this coupon found on specially marked cases of Mountain Dew or other Pepsi products on Saturday or Sunday. And sit in the special Mountain Dew zone for only $2. Get in the zone with Mountain Dew, the A's, and Fox Sports Net.
Royalty is coming in to help us celebrate the fourth. KC Royals will be in game 1 of 4. It'll be a 6:35 first pitch on the 4th of July. Why? The late start time. The Bats, Balls, and Brews Festival will be going out of the Eastside Club at 4 o'clock until 6:30. Right to Fosse at third. A little short. And so join us in the Eastside Club, 4 o'clock on the 4th of July. These tickets, OaklandAthletics.com. That one kind of died as it got near you. Good. Jermaine Dye facing Rick Reed. My voice dying there. Mike Jackson, Action Jackson. Remember him? He is back after an injured year, and here with the Astros. Slowly hit ball to Guzman, and he will throw out Dye. One away here in the 7th. I guess the Twins have to go to the bullpen, huh?
And Mike Jackson comes in to be throwing 120 compared to Reed.
Reed's at 107 pitches, so he will be departing.
Barry Zito right now at 107 himself, through 7. Reed with 1 out, but he is a masterful changing speed, mixing the curveball, but mostly fastballs into the hitters.
Strike. John Mabry doubled over the head of center fielder Torrey Hunter all the way to the wall, but did not score. Ace stranded him. Actually, he was retired at third on the track and a fielder's choice, but the run never did come in. Mabry out in front. That's a typical Reed reaction right there. Just get you off speed, pitch, and out in front a little bit. You kind of top it. You just don't drive the ball against this guy.
His curveball is good, almost the same release point as his fastball. Good bite on it and pulling the hitters. Take one for the team. Fastball's away, and then the breaking ball, and then the fastball inside.
Almeida Signs is loosening. He knows the Twins have a great lefty setup man in Romero and a closer who's a lefty, so he may get some play. David Ortiz, has he gotten better? At first base, the big man. Valet-like, picking it, 360 spin, and he throws out Mabry, 2 away.
Good range. The ball slowed down by the grass as it left the bat of John Mabry. A couple of smooth bounces on the grass. Great play, a little high throw, but Reed handled it well.
He's not known for his defense. He is predominantly a DH, but he made that very gracefully. He is a huge man, 6'4", 230 listed. He looks taller than 6'4", doesn't he? Adam Pyatt now. It's interesting, Ray. Rick Reed has done well in the National League. He's a 2-time All-Star from the National League with the Mets. In '97, his ERA was under 3. This one fouled off. Ortiz coming. All going to hang up. Ortiz not quite. They get there in time. He was a 16-game winner in '98 when he made his first All-Star team. He made it last year again with the Mets. He has not pitched as well in the American League. In the National League, he's 20 games over 500, ERA under 4. In the National League, his ERA is at 4.5. In the American League, at 4.5. But this is assortment of pitchers. You would think he'd be a pretty good American League pitcher, wouldn't you? Throws curveballs, change-ups, any count. Spots his fastball well, gets a strike there.
Well, I think you said it best, the American League, because that's the type of pitcher that usually does well in the American League. Able to throw the off-speed pitches for strikes when he's behind on the count.
Little comebacker, not hit well at all by Pyatt. The wet newspaper tonight. A's go 1, 2, 3. Reed has retired 8 in a row. Barry Zito back to work as we go to the 8th. A's down 3-1. The one and only Barry Zito. His T-shirt will be on display on Saturday, available to you. If you're a kid 14 and under, first 10,000 will pick up the All-Stars T-shirt, courtesy of Iron Kids Bread. 510-762-BALL or OaklandAthletics.com. Zito into the 8th now. Approaching 110 pitches, but pitching well, getting better and better as he goes.
The first pitch to Koski out of the stretch.
He did?
Yes, he did. Looked to first, too. To a breaking ball, Ramon missed it, so I guess maybe he thought that wasn't a good idea to do that anymore.
That was last night, where the leadoff hitter immediately got a free pass to first base. He's done reasonably well with the leadoff hitter tonight. Just one is reached, but this is the one guy he's had a hard time with, Matthew LeCroy. He's driven in all 3 runs tonight, 2-run homer and an RBI double. And here it is, the first pitch to Koski. Watch Barry Zito.
He could have just backed off, and Ramon said, wait a minute.
Well, the scouting report says that Jerry White is a very good base runner, and he was holding him on, Ray. Well, Jerry White's the first base coach. Pyatt makes the play in left center. So LeCroy is retired, 2 away. There's Jerry patting LeCroy on the back as he goes by. Torrey Hunter, the batter.
Jerry White told me he's getting married in November.
Mike Magnante and Chad Bradford are up, local girl.
Didn't ask him. He was just telling him in the clubhouse, and said November. And you know, it's amazing, guys decide to get married when they're involved in baseball. They always wait to November. It's that positive thought of not planning October weddings, just in case.
I think the Twins have reason to think that they will be busy in October. They have a sizable lead in the American League Central. Zito's curveball just off the table. 1-2-3. Is he getting good here as the game goes on? We go to the bottom of the eighth, still down 3-1. Young man named Matthew LeCroy has supplied the offense for Rick Reed tonight. Got a change up here on 0-2 and hit it a long, long way. 2-0. He's down 2-1, and then LeCroy in the fifth puts one in the gap. That'll score Christian Guzman. Rick Reed's gotten some good defense, not once but twice from Koski. He arrives Jermaine Dye. Then later on, he made a nice play. And that's the Jack in the Box game summary. 3-1 Twins pitching and defense tonight. A's have struggled with runners in scoring position throughout this series. 0 for 6 tonight, 2 for 13 last night. David Ortiz made some nice plays defensively, but if you have a Gold Glove first baseman available, you bring him in. Doug Minkiewicz enters, as does the veteran Mike Action Jackson. He takes over for Reed, and the A's are going to counter with a pinch hitter. Ramon Hernandez called back by Art Howe to face Jackson, who was having a nice year, 2.12. Good numbers all the way around. Low hits, low walks. Couple of veterans dueling here, Fosse, is Greg Myers. Bats for Ramon.
First pitch cutter from Jackson to Myers. Figure he's looking fastball first pitch.
Greg Myers, a former Minnesota Twin. He was a Twin all of '96 and the first half of '97 before moving on to Atlanta. Mike Jackson, a former everybody. This guy has had a long and a very good career. Phillies, Mariners, Giants, Reds, back to Seattle, Cleveland, Philly. Oh, he never pitched with the Phils in 2000. They had that lesion on his shoulder, missed the entire year. Pitched okay last year with the Astros, but he's got his stuff back as he strikes out Myers to open the eighth. Interesting career for this guy. Was he a wild pitcher when he first came up with the Phils, and then fell to Seattle? He really became a very good pitcher with the Giants. Hard thrower. And in Cleveland, he actually became a closer. Did very well. In tight.
He's made it tough on right-handers. Kind of throws across his body. And gives that impression these balls going to run in on the right-handed hitter.
Another tough guy on righties gets up for the A's. Mark Ellis drives one to left field. Kelty back, and it's gone. Mark Ellis, his second major league homer. Mark Ellis cuts the Twins' lead to 3-2 here in the bottom of the eighth.
Missed the first two. Fastball right down the middle, bell tie. Mark Ellis, a little bit of struggle last night, 0 for 4. He did have a sacrifice, 0 for 3 the first three tonight, but big hit there. Put the A's to within one. Thinking, boy, it's great to see a true fastball. And actually could look fastball in 2-0, something to read. They're going to change speeds, but Jackson is just a hard fastball pitcher. Supplies the power for you largely.
Put that wet newspaper back on the table in the clubhouse and hammer one. Mark Ellis hit his first major league home run here against the Giants on Friday night and just missed a homer moments before in that at-bat. He's got one now, number 2. Livens up the place. Jackson to Terrence Long, goes 2 balls and a strike. J.C. Romero gets up. And after Long, that ball skidded all over the place, winds up behind the tarp. Behind, after T. Long, Tejada, a right-handed, and the back-to-back lefties. That's why Romero's up. If they bat here in the 8th, it'll be Romero pitching to them. If it's the 9th, it'll likely be Guardado, the closer. And it's Justice and Chavez, the 2 consecutive lefties. Mike Jackson staying fastball. Got a great slider. And that is past the diving Guzman. Terrence Long going the other way. Singles to left field. His second hit of the night.
He just kind of served it out there. 3-2. Not really jumping out looking fastball. And Mike Jackson threw him the breaking ball, but T-Long stayed on it. It stays back, stays inside, and lofts it out to right or to left field.
Here's a good matchup. Tejada against Mike Jackson, the 37-year-old veteran. Tejada 1 for 3 tonight, single to center in the fourth. Strike on a nasty slider. Billy Koch may get up here if this inning goes even a little better for the A's. Tejada to right center, drives it. Hunter back again over the shoulder catch. Wheels and fires Long back to first base. 2 away. That was a Dwayne Murphy catch there. Well, it's a cool night, a windy night. He hit it hard, Ray, but Hunter able to track it.
Pitch away from him, and he has been going with the pitch so well, but Hunter makes it look easy.
And that is going to be it for Mike Jackson. They're going to bring in the left-hander, J.C. Romero, to face David Justice and possibly Eric Chavez. 2 outs, bottom 8, A's down a run. He's got something going here in the bottom of the 8th, and once we're done, we're heading to Hollywood. The Fredericks of the Hollywood lingerie models are going to drop by, play a little sports trivia with them. Kurt Schilling get a sound off on baseball's taboos, and John Kruk, the claymation version of the John Kruk, much more cuddly and adorable, will do lunch with Kurt Warner, one of the great quarterbacks and a great story in sports. That'll be after our game on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Here is one of the very best relievers in baseball not to be an all-star this year, lefty J.C. Romero, making his 47th appearance of the year. Number 46 came last night out of the bullpen, and he actually was the winning pitcher last night. He did face David Justice in the 6th inning, and David singled to center against him last night.
And like last night, wanted to jump on a pitch early in the count. Romero has that herky jerky move. Back, almost looks like Eddie Garbato.
Yes, he does. I was just thinking that. And that's, as you were making the point last night, that's why Eddie's tough to hit, even though he's not a real hard thrower. He's tough to pick up as he kind of hurls the ball at you. They've got 2 quality left-handed short relievers. 0-2 pitch. Justice on top of one to Koski. In between, Hop will stay with it and throw out Justice when Cavage to stretch. The A's get 1 on the Mark Ellis homer, his second major league homer. They strand Long. Bradford will pitch the 9th, not Koch. 3-2 Twins. Inside our Pepsi Spotlight tonight, 2 teams with a combined 5 All-Stars and may be dueling come October. The Twins out of the American League Central, the A's out of the West. They both have payrolls right around $40 million. The Twins just over $40 million. The A's just under. And they're getting a lot of bang for their buck. Barry Zito is going to not pitch the 9th, as we showed you. Chad Bradford coming in And it will be Doug Minkiewicz getting his first at-bat of the game. Minkiewicz came in for defensive reasons, but he will swing the bat here in David Ortiz's spot. So Bradford, the right-hander, in to face the lefty Minkiewicz. Chad has had a superb year. And with the upshoot, he starts out Minkiewicz with a strike. Doug Minkiewicz. And the big hit last night that brought Eddie Guardado in to close the game. Eddie picked up his American League high 25th save last night. As it was Minkiewicz who turned a 4-3 game around with one swing down the right field line off of Jim Messier's two-run double. 1-1 pitch gave the Twins the 5-4 lead, a lead they never gained back in the game. Also had a sac fly last night, so Minkiewicz with 3 RBIs. Andy Velarde at the ready if he is asked to hit. Eric Chavez will lead off in the bottom of the 9th. Bradford floats one up there, and it's 1-2. Chavez, Dye, and Mabry scheduled.
Another 1-run deficit. The A's lost a 1-run game last night over their fourth of the season.
Ground ball up the middle, tough ball. Ellis will not get there. It rolls into center field. Minkiewicz rounds the base aggressively. So he singles off of Bradford out of the reach of Ellis to start the top of the 9th.
Right up the middle. Pitch inside a little bit, but still able to get it up the middle hard enough once he got past Bradford.
Now, by going from the lefty Zito to the right-hander Bradford, Ron Gardenhire, the Twin manager, can counter with his lefty bats on the bench. And Minkiewicz, who came in for defense, gets a big single. Now Jock Jones, and his entry to the game is also twofold. Terrific hitter. He was having an all-star caliber year till he fell into an 0 for 20 before he arrived here last night. And he is a tremendous defender. He will obviously go to left field. And they'll move Bobby Kelty from left to right field as Jones is hitting for Dustin Moore. Chopped. Jones runs well. Tejada's got one, and that'll be it. Ellis will wisely not throw. Jones already running down the line of the bullpen. He reaches on the fielder's choice. Minkiewicz retired, 1 away.
Such a pretty play to see a shortstop make that play in the hole and then just one motion make a quick throw to second. Only one play to get the force out. All the work before the ball game, working on plays. This is one. Looks kind of routine to them, but right underneath, the accuracy of the throw is unbelievable. Especially throw from underneath that touch throw and being able to throw it so perfectly. Take a lot for granted watching these guys play and make it look so easy.
Well, if you have a chance to come out and watch the major leaguers take infield, they will give you a show. Everybody gets into the BP and how far these guys can hit it, but happens even later after BP is over. They'll go out and take infield and just give you an absolute show. And that'll be some scene next Tuesday watching the American League All-Star team take infield, huh?
Eric will be watching from San Diego.
He's happy about that, isn't he? One day he will be an all-star, without a doubt. Denny Hocking fouls one. The final voting, by the way, Damon, almost 700,000 votes. A narrow win over Jim Thome. Thome homered tonight. Thome has passed A-Rod. He has 25 home runs this year, most in the American League. And as of right now, he's not an all-star. Well, Damon will go, and in the National League, Andrew Jones will go. He beat out Brian Giles. Now, we say that now. The game is a week away. And historically, players get injured, don't feel quite right. Entering the second half of the year, they'd rather stay healthy for their team. So there'll be players that'll miss the game, and there will be guys that are at it. Maybe Eric Chavez will be an all-star after all. Home run leader at the break, not been an all-star before. Tony La Russa one year. Failed to take the MVP. Didn't he one year? In the early 90s. I had a mediocre, not a mediocre first half, but just didn't make the All-Star team, but he wound up the league MVP. Tony didn't have him on the All-Star team.
Well, they came on strong after the break. Second half player.
Ground ball, and that's fair. And Mabry will backpedal all the way rather than come forward to Hocking. Either way, Hocking, you're out. Jones down to second base, 2 away.
Huge at bat right here. Because the slow hit ball moves the runner into scoring position. John Mabry watching his dance on Diamond Vision as he did a nice little back pedal.
He's a moonwalker. Michael Mabry. I'm thinking of Hank Greenberg, the year that he had 100 RBIs at the break. I think it was 1930. He was not an All-Star that year.
Didn't want to go?
Didn't want to go. He wanted to go to San Diego, Ray, and watch the game on TV. Wanted to watch Milton Berle. Tom Prince. Well, if Brantford can get out of this and keep this a 1-run game, we'll have a nice bottom of the 9th to see if Guardado can close it. Eric Chavez scheduled to lead off. And Jermaine Dye. Art Howe liked that matchup last night. Dye did strike out against Guardado on a curveball up. But Art felt very confident that Dye would get a base hit. It was a good matchup he was looking forward to. So we may have a redo tonight. Nice pitch. Prince gobbling up. You're getting gobbled up inside by Bradford. 0-2 on the backup catcher. Mentioned Michael. You got to mention a Prince from Minneapolis. Tom is 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of pop-ups and a bounce to short. Jock Jones, great speed at second base. Pitch is up, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. The Mariners were down tonight for most of the game, but they have rallied back. Rafael Soriano had a bad outing, but they have come back to tie the game at 5 at home against the Royals. Matthew LeCroy with all 3 ribbies tonight. 2-run homer and an RBI double. Bradford changing up. Ball floating towards the plate. When it got there eventually, it was called ball 2.
Had to be called too high, but Prince started, but very slowly thrown and able to adjust and not swing at it. Evidently too high.
Two in tight. Well, that's quite a tremendous difference in speeds.
Yeah.
Getting that yo-yo. Ball's going to come back to him and almost stops on the way there, and then he comes in and busts you inside with a fastball at 84 compared to that 68-mile-an-hour changeup. And all from a very difficult release point where he's almost scraping the ground. Tough for the righty. 2-2 pitch. Comes up and in, and Prince quick enough to foul it off.
Needs a pitch with some good sinking action down and in as he got the second strike. After the little frisbee that he took, a couple more fastballs in.
Well, Tom Kelly, his rookie year, won the World Series with the '87 Twins. Ron Gardenhire's making this look easy. As a rookie manager, he's got a 6.5 game lead over the White Sox in the AL Central. This one's going full. Tom Prince takes ball 3. This guy doesn't like it. Dana DeMuth, the home plate umpire, hearing it.
the upshoot is a little bit too high from Bradford on a couple of pitches, the last two anyway, that have been called out of the strike zone.
This one's grounded towards Chavez. Runner goes by, and Eric will throw out Tom Prince.
Why did he tag him?
He wanted to run in and grab a bat, Ray. He's got to do some work against Everyday Eddie. Bottom 9 we go. Bobby Kelty will relocate from left to right field. Jock Jones will take over in left. And Everyday Eddie, he needs a new handle now. He's an all-star. And if there's a save on the table, Eddie will try to get it. He's blown only 2 all year. He has saved 25 of their 47 victories this year. Eddie Guardado from East Stockton is in here in the bottom of the 9th, trying to preserve a 1-run victory just like he did last night. Eric Chavez faced Guardado last night, and he picked up a single. That was the ball that was hit down the line. Guardado tried to come off, could not make the play, and he slipped. Eric picked up an infield base hit.
And a stolen base after. Not the scoring position, but the A's came up short.
And he said he was running on his own. That was not a steal from the bench side. He just took off and stole it.
Well, he has swung through some pitches tonight. Nice to bat. Great pitching. A couple of fastballs that he swung through.
Everybody wants a piece of Guardado. Mabry possibly could be hit for. He's a lefty, but he's swinging a hot stick. We'll see. Obviously, Jermaine Dye's get a bat next, and Mabry due up third. Pitch. Chavez, left center. Big gap out there. He's going to split it. Barry Chavez opens the 9th with a double.
Fastball down and away to Chavez, and plate coverage, but also will use the whole field. Prince outside, doesn't want to take a chance of him hitting a home run by pulling it. But Chavez with a high leg kick just reaches out and smokes it to left center. Just beautifully splitting the gap. Stand up double, good start for the A's. Zito hopes to continue.
The streak is on the line here. Barry's got an L right now pending, and he has not lost here in Oakland in over a year. We'll detail more of that later on, but let's see what happens here. Jermaine Dye last night, a big at-bat against Eddie Guardado. Wound up striking out after a long battle on a curveball up. Fastball in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Earlier tonight, he also got kicked off base after a single to break up an 0 for 22. And that cost the A's. That was the second out of the inning. The next batter, Mabry, lofted a deep fly to right. And Chavez, who would have scored on a sac fly, did not as the inning ended.
Well, there's the frustrating pitch, I think, for Jermaine Dye, the fastball that he has been on quite a bit, especially coming in tonight's game, 0 for 22. And just a little bit late on the fastball. And it still might have something to do with his front leg, left leg that he broke.
Well, if Dye gets on, Eric Burns will more than likely run for him. 1-2 pitch. Count is 2-2.
Well, they are not even paying any attention to Chavez at second base. They are spread very wide at second and short. He can walk to third, but he just has to hope, if he does run, that the ball's not hit on the line drive.
Well, Nato Science has moved on deck to hit for John Mabry. 2-2 pitch, and Jermaine Dye swings and misses. It's a tough one. He's unable to move Chavez to third. 1 away.
Prince moves in with a fastball down and in, and Jermaine Dye tied him up just enough to not be able to make contact.
Here is Olmedo Signs, the hit for Mabry. Mabry is one of the hottest hitters on the team right now, but again, Olmedo Signs, a right-handed batter against the lefty Guardado, is the way the A's go. Guardado's tough on both. He was a setup man for a while, a long while, and he gets both lefties and righties out. Guardado was back home here. He was a big A's fan. He used to sneak into games here at the Coliseum as a youngster from East Stockton, a tough neighborhood he grew up in, and he's always pitched well here. In fact, coming into this series, he had the lowest ERA here in Oakland than any stadium in the American League. This one's popped foul, out of play. Eddie will give it a chase, but it's back into the crowd of over 15,000. But I do recall a lefty getting a pretty good hit against him. One Matt Stairs hit a walk-off against Eddie Guardado back in May of '99. In fact, that is the last run that Eddie Guardado was allowed in the stadium. You have to go back over 3 years. May the 15th of 1999, the last time he gave up a run. And it was a Stairs walk-off. 0-1 pitch. Dana DeMuth says no. Oh, he said strike. Pardon me. Well, a late call, kind of an odd one, but he said strike two. 0-2. The A's lost last night, 5-4. They lost last Wednesday in Seattle, 1-0. As Moyer beat Harang. So the A's, the very best record in baseball with the one-run verdicts going their way, but this could be a third straight one-run loss. Signs just a piece, stays alive at 0-2.
And there's the big motion. Gives that kind of herky-jerky motion and pull the string a little bit, or just takes a little bit off the pitch. And he can gear up the fastball a little bit more.
That's why a lot of people were skeptical, Ray. They said, this guy's not a hard throw. He does not have a dominant pitch. How's he get it close? Well, that fastball's faster than you think it is. Signs just a piece. He certainly has the makeup to be a closer. He's got a little wild man in him, doesn't he, when he gets on the mound and gets himself all worked up?
Said the biggest group from Stockton will be down tomorrow for the final game of the series.
Tomorrow night, game 3 of this 3-gamer. The finale will be on the air at 7 o'clock ourselves. Make your plans to be here for $1 Wednesday. Mark Mulder will go for the Oakland A's against Johan Santana. What a year he has had for the Twins. Really helping to keep their pitching staff afloat. Signs grounds it, foul. Koski goes it back towards Guardado. Count remains. No balls and 2 strikes. 25 saves to lead the American League. An obvious choice for Joe Torre to be a first-time All-Star. Scott Hatteberg unavailable to pinch hit. He would likely be a choice anyway against a left-handed closer. 0-2 pitch. Nato straight back foul. Another first-year closer's having a pretty good year over in the National League, and he's going to be an All-Star. Eric Gagne for the LA Dodgers. Wow. He leads all of baseball with 30 saves. John Smoltz has 28 saves. What a transformation he's made. He's a modern-day act.
Bobby Thigpen's record might be broken by a few guys.
57.
We have
Torborg regrets that. Thigpen was never the same after his 57 saves. Gagne halfway through is on pace for 60. 0-2 pitch. Olmedo Signs in the corner, crushes one, and that is gone. A walk-off for Olmedo. Look at this reaction. Hardhouse pushes the right button. Pinch hitting, Olmedo signs for the Red Hot John Mabry, and he hits a two-run bomb. A walk-off to beat Guardado, and the Twins 4-3.
You won't believe this, Greg, but on May 15th of '99, Ned Stairs on the 7th pitch from Guardado hit a two-run home run. 7th pitch tonight to Olmedo signs on the 0-2. Fouled off 4, the 7th pitch, the two-run home run. And he smoked it.
And he was down 0-2 in the count, Fosse, and kept hanging in there, fouling off some tough pitches. The Twins are stunned here. That is only the third blown save this year for Everyday Eddie, and he really crushes this one.
Fastball, outside corner, and there was no doubt when it left his bat.
You might say he cooked it all the way to the barbecue terrace. And look at this reaction, Ray.
And you could think Rob Nin a couple of years ago that Olmedo hit the walk-off against the Giants, and he does it again against the Twins.
All right. Olmedo's going to talk about it when we come back with Kite. 4-3 A's.
A's Baseball is brought to you by McDonald's. There's something new at McDonald's. Hot and spicy chicken fingers, now on our everyday McValues menu. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. By Volvo, Volvo for life. By AT&T Broadband, cable television, internet, and local phone service. For more information, call 1-800-945-2288. And by Taco Bell. For a tasty deal, think outside the bun.
Well, the Oakland A's get 1 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th for a dramatic comfort behind win over the Minnesota Twins. Those last 2 runs in the 9th, a 2-run homer by Olmedo signs. Congratulations. Take us through the at-bat, because you're facing one of the best closers in all of baseball. He's an all-star.
Yes, you know, I know they're going to pinch hit after the 3 guys that were coming up, and I know they're going to pinch hit from Mabry, and I just went up to the plate looking for, I say, I'm going to look for a fastball and try to hit a fastball. If he beat me, he ain't going to beat me with a fastball. So he made pretty good pitches, and I was able to, you know, catch one.
And, you know, Olmedo, maybe the at-bat was made when you were fouling off the tough pitches. You fell behind 0-2, and you said he was throwing you a forkball. That's the pitch you were fouling off, waiting for that fastball.
Yeah, he made pretty good pitches on that, and I just was trying to stay alive and put the ball on play, or at least try to bring the Eric from second base. You know, it was good. He threw me a fastball, and he was over the hitting zone, and I get the head out. 3
years ago, you did this against Rob Nen and the Giants. It took a while, but you're a hero again. Tell us the feeling when you were running around the bases.
Well, it feels great, you know, sitting on the bench the whole game and then come up with a situation like that and get that knock. And I mean, it's a great feeling, and you know, we're doing pretty good job off the bench. So I mean, it feels great. We played pretty good baseball. Everybody did it. We got pitching. They pitched pretty good. I think it was a pretty exciting baseball game tonight.
Yes, it was. Congratulations, Olmedo, on a game-winning home run.
Thanks very much.
Olmedo signs. He's excited, Greg and Ray. He's got good reason. A game-winning home run here at the net.
Well, he's got one off of Rob Nen. He got one here tonight. The A's third walk-off home run of the year, Ray. Carlos Pena off of Dan Miceli, second game of the year. Of course, Greg Myers with a pinch hit. And those are tougher. He had the pinch hit off of flame-throwing Troy Percival, and now tonight, Olmedo gets an all-star closer in Eddie Guardado.
You know, that was big, but also Chad Bradford huge in the top of the ninth.
Without a doubt. So the A's are happy after this one, after being down 3-1 going to the 8th, but they win 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. Best Damn Sports Show period comes your way next. Join us tomorrow night for the finale of the series decider, Mark Mulder against Johan Santana at 7 o'clock. In-game stats brought to you by ScorePad all year. For Ray Fosse and our entire Fox Sports Net crew, I'm Greg Papa saying walk-off home run Olmedo.